Hi everyone, my name is Tracy. The multimedia instructional design principles identified by Richard Mayer and his colleagues are largely focused on minimizing extraneous cognitive load and managing intrinsic and germane loads at levels that are appropriate for the learner. In this video, we will explore 3 of the 12 multimedia design principles, which are signaling, redundancy, and coherence. Extraneous overload occurs when extraneous processing and essential processing exceed the learner's cognitive capacity. Think about when you're visiting an entertainment website and the article you're trying to read is filled with multiple advertisements and pictures that have nothing to do with the subject of the article. Or think about when you're trying to study and you are disturbed by the neighbor's dog barking or their neighbors arguing. It can be frustrating. Your efforts can be aided by the selected design principles in this video. First, signaling. Signaling is when visual, auditory, or temporal cues are added to a lesson. Common techniques include arrows, circles, highlighting or bolding text, pausing, or vocal emphasis in narration. Introductory sentences, headers, bullet points, and ending lesson segments over critical information has been given can also serve as a signaling cue during voiceovers and on-screen text. As you can tell in this slide, the particular learner is wanting to find out which is the YouTube icon out of the series of icons on the screen. As you can tell by the person pointing at the YouTube icon, the learner's attention will be immediately diverted to this particular icon and not pay attention to the others on the screen. So in the person's mind, they are making the mental connection between YouTube and the visual representation of the icon. Next, we go to the redundancy principle. And this is a principle that we experience quite a bit in higher academia. Redundancy focuses on how deeper learning occurs when lessons are explained by narration and graphics instead of narration, graphics, and on-screen text. If the narration and graphics are already visible, the extra material can confuse the learner, as you can see in this graphic here. The learner doesn't know if they should be listening to the narration, reading the text on screen, or looking at the graphics. In certain situations, we do want to point out that the redundancy principle can be used, such as learners with hearing challenges, non-English speaking learners, or those who prefer subtitles. Lastly, we go to the coherence principle, which is about reducing seductive details. The working memory suffers when irrelevant pictures and sounds and text are included in e-learning. The instructor can reduce this extraneous load by eliminating visual and auditory elements that are not central to the learning material. Avoid using unnecessary content such as irrelevant videos, graphics, music, narration, in order to minimize the cognitive load imposed on memory during learning, because this will remove irrelevant and distracting content. Basically, the less the learners know about the lesson content, the easier it is for them to get distracted by anything shown that is not directly relevant to the lesson. Now, for learners with greater prior knowledge, some motivational imagery may increase their interest and learning effectiveness. Overall, understanding these design principles is beneficial to design effective multimedia instructional content. Learning materials should contain essential elements and eliminate information that could prevent learning. Thank you for watching my video and stay tuned for more.